Okay, so today we're going to talk about the repo facility and when QE is going to happen, which is going to be very, very soon. So, the repo market's been cracking the last few days, and we have to remember the repo facility was only created in September 2019, and that was following the September 2019 repo spike. So then that's when there wasn't enough dollars in the system. So there was a spike. Fed said, "Oh my gosh, we're going to give you some dollars and we're going to create this facility." But more importantly, they stopped QT at the time and they basically created a fake pandemic in order to perform massive QE. So massive, they had 2.2 trillion extra dollars printed that they stuffed in the RRP. The reverse repo facility, which if you remember back in, been watching my videos, I always had in the background the amount it was, because that was the important number to lead us to Armageddon, which we're now going to get. So that was built down, finally down to zero about a month ago. And since then, it's gone into repo. You still need the dollars. These crack addict derivatives brokers still need dollars. So they went and they've basically last 5 days consecutively tapped the repo facility, which is, just to tell you how absurd that is, since 2019, before last month, it was tapped twice. That's it. Just twice in 6 years. And now it's being tapped literally every day, right? 30 billion, 20 billion, 9.5 billion. Every single day it's being hit, which means the Fed has to print dollars to give them. Now, the Fed can't keep this up. Eventually, well, very soon, basically in January, it will do formal QE. That is 100% guaranteed. Now, they're going to need an excuse to do so, just like their fake pandemic. They're going to need a war maybe or something in order to go back into QE, because what is QE revealing? Essentially reveals that the emperor has no clothes. QE basically says they were trying to basically fake to you and say, QE isn't money printing. We print the money, but then we get assets and we're going to roll those over off our balance sheet and we're going to sell them back into the market. They managed incredibly in the 3 years since they've been doing it to simply get back to the absurd levels of assets they had at the end of 2020, which was 18 trillion worth of assets, which is, they had less than 1 trillion in 2008. They now have 18 trillion. They can't get rid of them. They're worthless. They can't sell them back into the market. It's gone, and now they're going to ramp it up again by a massive amount. Remember, QE2 was about 700 billion. QE3 maybe another like 800 billion. Let me tell you now, that's not going to cut the mustard anymore. We're going to need trillions for this next QE. The patient is so much more addicted. You've pumped him full of oxy. You've pumped him full of heroin. The little amounts you gave before aren't enough. He needs massive QE again. So, and the last time you did it, which was 2020, you had to create a fake pandemic in order to do it. So now you're really screwed. I don't know what excuse they're going to give, but I mean, it has to come. They can't keep doing this repo facility, keep being tapped every day, above SOFR as well. The rates they're lending is above SOFR. And I'll explain to you what's happening. Essentially, you have these derivatives, which Warren Buffett calls a financial weapon of mass destruction. $1 is out there. It's been lent out 100 times. This is behind the scenes, no regulations, no nothing. It's been lent out 100 times. Whenever they need money, they go, we want our dollar, but there's 100 claims on that dollar. So that dollar guy has to go to the Fed and get actual dollars to give these guys. This happens when there's a crisis. And that is what's happening now. Everyone's scrambling for these dollars. They're going on these claims. Obviously, these derivatives, people don't have it, right? They were just hedging. They were just, not hedging, they were, what's it called? Taking loans, lending out on all the same dollar 10 to 100 times. That's all that was happening, right? Completely illegal in the real market. In derivatives, which is way bigger than the real market, it happens all day long, every day, no regulations, no oversight, no nothing. But the Fed has to backstop these guys, because if they don't, the whole system collapses, right? That was 2008, the euro-dollar crisis, essentially. which is a derivatives crisis essentially. And now the derivatives market knows the Fed has to always do, whenever we have the crisis, they have to print the money. They are our backup. We can't lose. We'll take the riskiest bets. We'll land out 100 times. We'll land out the same dollar 1,000 times. We'll land out the same dollar 2,000 times. We know whatever happens, we'll just run to the Fed and they'll print new dollars. They'll do QE. They have to, or the system collapses. That's essentially what we have now. It's a world with no consequences. It's a world with no consequences. And so that's what's happening at the moment. QE is going to come. More inflation's coming. People's living standards go down. The rich get richer as more QE happens. And that's it. There is no way out. And I'll explain to you again what these hedge funds are. These hedge funds are, imagine you have a heroin addict. He needs $500 of drugs. He gets a credit card, buys it. He has to pay back $600. So he gets a $1,000 credit card, pays the $600, buys some more drugs, but then has to pay out the $1,000 credit card. So he gets a $1,500 credit card. And on it goes. And that is what the market is. It can never pay back even the original credit card. The US is 38 trillion in debt. It will never pay that back. Everyone knows they won't pay that back. Everyone knows every country won't pay any of it back. It's all meaningless. No one's going to pay any of this back. It's just heading to mass default. Everyone's just kicking the can down the road. Japan, 260% GDP, never going to get paid back by a decreasing population. Even if they didn't borrow an extra yen, it would still increase because they have a decreasing population, meaning the burden per person. This is insane. And everyone's pretending, yes, we're recording the numbers. This is a legitimate, honest, QE isn't money printing. And come on, guys, come on. So it's not going to end. It's definitely not going to end well for normal people like us. But yeah, that's where it's going. 100% QE incoming, 100% interest rate cut in December, 100% more interest rates coming next year, even with inflation rampant, even with inflation going up. Doesn't matter anymore. We're in a place where, the drug addict rules the system. And they know they will always get their credit card. They know they will always get, the pimp will always give them their money. And they know the Fed will always give them whatever they need. This is where we are. The more you lend out, the more risky bets you take, the more stupid AI spending, the more dumb things you do, the Fed has your back.